Hey, it's Matt. It's been a long time. At this point, it's been over a year since the last update. I just want to give you a sense of what's been going on in this project. I've been working on a lot of new features for the game, but it's been a long and bumpy road. Some of it works and some of it doesn't. Frankly, I've been ashamed to show it to you until now. I'm going to keep the cuts and edits in this video to a minimum to show you the real state of the game, with bugs, crashes, and everything. And then I'll talk about where DwarfCorp is headed and what we plan on doing in the future. So let's start by showing you the new world creation screen. Here it is loading up the world. And here's the new screen. It is now 3D. You can click around and look at the height and see where your colony is going to start out, whether it be on the coast, in the mountains, or what have you. You can look at the biomes here. There's desert and volcanoes along this coast. And I added a rain model to make these biomes more realistic. Here are the factions. You can see there's different countries here. Some of them have ridiculous names. And each of them is associated with a different fantasy race. My favorite over here is Funland. That's pretty cool. I think it's elves, maybe? No, mole men. But I'm interested in this island over here. It's got nothing in it besides a desert and no factions. So it seems like a good enough place to start our new colony. So let's begin. Alright, we're loading up the world. And here we are. Our dwarves have landed on the new island in their balloon port. There's the balloon. And we can see the ocean all around us. There's the coast. So we're going to have some trouble getting around, but hopefully that means no enemy armies will be coming our way since we're safe on this island. I'm just going to close that map here. Oh yeah, there's a bunny here. He's kind of stuck floating there. Oh, poor guy. Okay, so I think I'm going to start by digging some holes, since that's what dwarves are good at. Let's dig right around here. I think this is actually the entrance to a cave, so we might see something interesting here. I'm just going to drag out a few blocks and have my dwarves mine them. And there they go, industriously. I'm a little concerned here because there's these black blocks, and those shouldn't be there. Those indicate fog of war, and that's a new feature that I've added where if a dwarf has just newly explored a place, it will reveal information on the map, whereas before you could see it, all of the information. And here I'm just trying to get rid of this fog of war, and I'm failing, so I think there's a bug there. But it's definitely the entrance to a cave. You can see some cave fungus here, so I'm going to have the dwarves mine that out. We will probably look at the system of caves later. For now, let me just mine out a few rooms and start building stuff. So I'm just going to drag out a room here, and the dwarves will go and mine. You can see they're shadowed above this slice here. I can slice up and down in the terrain and see different Z levels of the terrain. And you can see the dwarves mining on those levels, and I can go up and down, and they'll be revealed or hidden. And you can see the dwarves are getting XP as they mine. They will eventually level up, and they'll demand more pay, but they also mine quicker. Alright, now they're done. They're going to go and put all of that in the stockpile. By the way, balloon ports are now also stockpiles, because I found it in testing to be very annoying to have to build a separate stockpile as well as a balloon port. So I'm just going to build a room here. We'll start with a common room for dwarves to relax in. You can see now there's these little construction widgets, sort of like construction tape and piles here for where furniture is going to be. Wow, he's just going. There he goes, building the room. All right, now we've got a common room, and the dwarves are going to go and sit there and relax. To make this a little bit faster, maybe I will start building rooms in cheat mode. But first I'm going to mine out a few more blocks, make some space to build some more rooms. Oh, a storm is coming. Right, so I've added weather. Where is it? Oh, there it is. You can see raindrops falling. And there's actually a storm front moving across the landscape, and it's making these little puddles. So that's pretty cool. It also snows in snowy environments, and leaves piles of snow and ice, which is pretty cool. But in testing, I found that dwarves can actually like drown or like get covered in snow during storms, so I'm not sure how well that's gonna play. Okay, let's build another room. Probably a kitchen. Yeah, if we build a kitchen, we'll be able to show off cooking. But I'm just gonna do that in cheat mode for now to make it go quicker. Just gonna kill some blocks here to make enough space for a kitchen, and then I'll just build one in cheat mode. Alright, here's the kitchen, and you can see there are stoves there baking away and cutting boards. And the crafts dwarves can cook in the kitchen, combine different foods to make meals, and meals make dwarves happier than other foods. So here we have the meal menu. You can only create meals, bread, and ale right now. And interestingly, you can select any resource that has an attribute called cookable to cook things together. But right now I only have mushrooms, so I'll just make a meal out of mushrooms. I can also brew ale with brewable things and bake bread with bakeable things. So he's gone off to the stockpile, he's collecting the mushrooms, and he's not doing anything. Well, that's embarrassing. Let me see if I can get him to cook something else. Okay, he took some more mushrooms. I think we might be out of mushrooms now. Yeah, I think the dwarves ate all the mushrooms before he could cook the meal, so that's too bad. Maybe I will show off cooking a little bit later. This is going to be one of those problems that is going to keep cropping up during this video cast, I am sure. Alright, so let me build a workshop so I can show some other things that I've done. Let's just make one here. And it was too small and there's nothing in it. Let me make another one in a larger space. Alright, I'll just destroy some blocks here. Man, it is really dark underground, isn't it? Okay, and I will build a workshop in this new space that I just created. There we go, and now there's some anvils, and I will get my crafts dwarf to build some stuff. So I've created a bunch of new stuff for the crafts dwarf to build, which I will show you in a moment. Here we go. You can see there's ladders, doors, lamps, turrets. They can build a lot of this stuff. One of the more interesting ones are doors, so I guess I'll build a stone door. Doors keep enemies out. Enemies have to destroy them before they get in. Okay, here goes the crafts dwarf. He's gonna first get the resources, then he's gonna go... Oh, he's not going. He's throwing the stone back into the stockpile. Who knows why? He's probably lost. That's probably really hard to get into. The planner is probably failing. Bugs, people. Okay, let me see if I can build it closer to him. Build a stone door. Build it right here. Grabs the stone. Question mark. Question mark. Throws the stone back. Okay, that means the planning has probably failed. That sucks. Okay, new plan. I will build a workshop above ground, because I bet the problem is he can't get to the workshop. Oh, there he goes. He's trying to build the door again and again. You see, I made them smart enough to try things again and again, but then they never know when to stop. Okay, here we go. New workshop. Is he going to try to build that door? No, I probably have to give him a new order. Yeah, stone door. Build it. Oh, there he goes. He's going to build the old stone door. There he goes. He's going, and he built it. There's a door. The hinge is in the wrong place. Awesome. And your dwarves can pass through doors easily, but other creatures will have difficulty getting through the doors, and will try to break them down before entering. So yeah, there's a bunch of cool things here, like here's an iron door, which is harder to break down, and then there's the regular wooden doors, which are the easiest to break down. Wow, he's building fast. I think I turned up the build speed to make recording these kinds of videos easier. Okay, here he goes. Bam! And the hinge is in the right place now. Okay. And you can pass through the door. And other enemies cannot. You can build ladders, and actually the more interesting one here is the turret. I need some mana to build it, so I'm actually just going to build it in God mode. Let me just spawn a turret. Right over here. And it's kind of dark, hard to see. It's nighttime. Let me make it daytime so that you can see what's going on a little better. Skip to daytime, okay. And now it's sunrise. Yeah, it's daytime. There's the sun. Okay, let me make something for this turret to destroy. So there's a bunch of new creatures in the game, but I'm just gonna make a goblin. It's not shooting the goblin. I think goblins are friends right now. Let me spawn a demon, because that's definitely going to be an enemy. Okay. Yeah, demons are new. They're kind of overpowered, but they're pretty awesome. They can fly. They can spit fire. And I think the turret might actually win because the demon was distracted here. And turrets just shoot enemy arrows at your enemies, and they can be attacked just like anything else. Yeah, there are now new animals like frogs and bunnies. Bunnies are pretty cool. Bats are actually a nice new addition. They spawn underground in caves, and they bite things. They're actually quite effective at swarming things and killing them. And they mount on vertical surfaces, which is pretty cool. Let's see what else. But demons, right, will fight bats. So you can see the bats swarming the demon here, and they might actually win because there's so many of them. And you can see actually now all entities drop meat and bones, which you can use to make stuff. Oh wait, a trade envoy has arrived. Just in the nick of time. Oh, so I thought they wouldn't be able to get to me since I'm on an island, but apparently they swim across the ocean just to trade with me. And you can see they're dragging barrels with them of trade goods. These are mole men, actually. Oh, so he's Kate Marble Pacer from Funland. Excellent. Let's ask him a few questions. What does he think of us? Our relationship is indifferent because we just met. Great. What's in the news? The world is the same as ever. You might get that reference. Interesting. What goods do you want? So each race desires different kinds of goods, and they find other kinds of goods offensive. They also have some goods in abundance, and they're seeking other goods because they don't have many of them, and it's different for each race and faction. So I'm going to want to sell them metal. They'll probably like that a lot. You can see metal here has a high price. These are my goods. That's my money. And their goods are over here on the left. They have a lot more of them. And basically, I'm trying to say what they're going to offer and what I'm going to offer and come to an agreement. It's kind of complicated. But I found that this was the most efficient way to capture how trade works. And if you've played Dwarf Fortress, you probably recognize this a lot. So I'm going to try to trade them some stone for sapphires. That's not going to work because they lose 15 dwarf bucks. So I have to make up the difference by adding some money. So now their profit is $5. Eventually this number will turn green once they're satisfied. So I'm just going to add 30 dwarf bucks. And now their profit is 15 dwarf bucks. And so they'll give me the sapphires for the stone and the money. So I offered the trade. He dances with joy, which means he accepted the trade. I could declare war on him if I wanted to, but I'm just going to tell him to leave. And he leaves. There he goes. Oh, there's another mole man who arrived from the Lithodo Collective at the same time. So I'm going to trade with him. Let's see. I can probably give him some sapphires for something. What does he have? He has some, stone crowns. Interesting. I'm going to buy a stone crown. It's a masterwork stone crown. I'll give him the sapphires that I just bought. And I'll make up the difference with money. You see he's trading at a loss. So I have to give him some money. Give him 40 dwarf bucks. And he's happy. He nods violently. So I'm just going to tell him to leave too. Wow, what is that? I have no idea. Okay, now the mole men are trying to leave. There they go. They're leaving the world. They're behaving really erratically. Not quite sure why. I think their planners might have failed, and they have a fallback case where they just sort of walk around randomly until they leave. And there they go, swimming away across the sea back to their lovely mole men homes. So one interesting thing is that if you kill them while they're trading, they actually drop all of their trade goods, and you can get the dwarves to pick them all up. So if you wanted to, you could get the dwarves to kill them, and then you get all of the trade goods, which I'm actually going to do right now. They will declare war on me the next time they see me, if I ended up getting my dwarves to kill them. But right now, since I killed them in cheat mode, they aren't going to notice. And when a race declares war on you, basically they send war parties that keep fighting you for some time until, a certain number of days has passed, and then they'll offer a peace treaty, is basically how it works. Wow, that was a lot of trade goods. I'm going to be rich now. So let me see if I can find a cave for you. I added caves and like veins of ore and stuff, so I'm going to just destroy some blocks. Oh, there it is. So I just revealed a cave. It's really dark, but you can see a scorpion in there. And there's also a bat. I'm not sure what the bat is doing. I think they might be trying to fight each other right now. But you see this cave is basically a vein. It goes in 3 dimensions. I'm going to open up the map and I'll show you. You can see it's actually cutting through the island here. And your dwarves can explore caves. Wow, what is going on here? He's got bat meat and bat bones near him. I wonder if he got into a fight. He's not able to leave the world. He's kind of stuck. He's kind of stuck down there in the water. That is sad. There's a bunny out there. Okay, what is this scorpion doing? I think he's trying to fight the bat. I'll deal with that later. Let me delete this block. See if that helps. No. Okay, no idea what's going on here. Presumably they're trying to get into a fight and are unable to for whatever reason, so let me just kill one of them. And see what happens. Wow, what is going on? Bats are teleporting. Okay, yeah, the bats are trying to fight him and we're unable to. So that's just an example of the many, many bugs that I have yet to squish. And the more complex that this game gets and the more features that I add, the more bugs tend to crop up, which is a problem I'll talk about in a little while. So there is one more thing I wanted to show, which is farming. That's been improved a lot. Now it's like a multi-stage process where first you till the soil, then you plant seeds, and then the seeds grow into plants, which then you can use to create more seeds that you plant into more soil. And this way you can have like a self-sustaining dwarf colony that like feeds itself. And some things can only be grown underground, some things can be grown above ground. It's got all that good stuff. So I actually don't have any seeds to plant right now, so let me try to find something that's plantable, like pine cones are. Probably make some of those, but maybe I actually want... Let's go with berries. Yeah. I'll spawn berries. And let me just get the dwarves to gather up the berries. Alright, when they're done, they'll gather it. Oh, the thug is going to come up here and gather the berries for them while they're doing their jobs. Way to go. Here he goes. Gathered a few of them. Alright, now I'm going to get them to plant the berries in the soil. And just click and drag on any green tile. They grab berries, and then now they're going to plant them in the soil. And eventually those berries will grow into berry bushes, which then produce more berries and so on. It's pretty straightforward. It's just much more in-depth than it used to be, and it's still coming along. Alright, you can see the seedlings there. Oh, another mole man just arrived. It's all mole man all the time in this island, apparently. I'm just going to tell him to leave. And you can see the seedlings there, and after, I think, 1 day, they will grow into berries. The mole men are all trying to leave. There's bat meat everywhere. It's just a disaster. So, I mean, as you can see, the game is basically a toy right now. It's got a lot of interesting features. It's got a lot of fun bugs to deal with. But a lot of the stuff doesn't really fit together right now. And a lot of the stuff, is kind of buggy. There's a lot of show-stopping bugs in basically every system in the game. And I'm constantly torn between wanting to produce new and interesting features and then fixing the bugs in the existing features. And if I was more than just one person, that would be a lot easier than it is now. I work as a software engineer now, and I understand that in like real companies, you have people who are constantly doing testing and continuous integration, and you have other people working on new features. So here I created some cave spiders. Cave spiders are really interesting. They can actually climb up walls, and they shoot webs at your dwarves and slow them. They're actually some of the most powerful creatures in the game. They're really, really fast. It was actually really surprising. Another creature that is actually really powerful is bunnies. If you get a swarm of those guys, they will take down anything. That should give you a pretty good indication of where the game is right now. As you can see, what it really needs is more testing and integration. What I really need are a bunch of QA testers to test this game on a bunch of different systems and scenarios. So here's the credits. I actually have imported everybody's name into the credits. There's about 2,000 of you. Thank you very much for your support. These credits will be scrolling for about an hour. So now we have to discuss what's been going on and why I haven't updated you guys in over a year. Part of the answer is that I've been working on my PhD thesis. I had to finish that as quickly as possible, and the more that I worked on that, the more DwarfCorp fell on the back burner. And stuff started getting further and further behind, the features were still really buggy, and every new thing that I implemented I was too ashamed to show to you. And then I started being ashamed and anxious about the fact that I hadn't updated you in so long, and so it was sort of a self-defeating cycle. And that's stupid, and I'm so sorry that happened, and you really deserve better. But now I'm in a more stable position in my life. I've completed my PhD, and I'm now working 9 to 5, and I can schedule some more time to work on DwarfCorp. Now, the financial situation is the same as it's always been. Almost all of the money is still there, and we spent actually very little developing this game. I wanted to save it for a time when I could use it effectively, and unfortunately that time was much later than I anticipated. But now my immediate plan is to use the money to hire QA testers and new developers to polish this game, fix the bugs, and turn it into something that is worth playing. And the scope of this game has kind of spiraled out of control, and we're going to have to cut it off at some point just so that we can get something playable out the door. It may not be as full-featured as I had initially anticipated. And to be honest, I did overpromise during the Kickstarter. I was really naive about how long it would take to implement all of these features, especially as one developer with one artist. But this game may never be that high-quality, AAA, sellable product that we had originally intended when we started this. That's why I think it may be better to release this as a free open-source game that anybody can download for free and anyone can contribute to. This will allow us to continue developing the game long after it has been released, and release any updates to the public for free. But I'm open to other suggestions from you guys. I'm going to try to stay on top of answering your emails now. I'm so sorry that I have been so behind on that. Thanks again so much for your support, and hopefully I will be speaking with you again soon. Bye-bye.